All right, guys. So this is what's the date today? 3rd Jan, 3rd Jan polity class. We were we are scheduled to do governor and president and governor, president, vice president, and governor today. So I shared the Bear Act in the group. Have you all gone through it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In just 5 to 10 minutes, I'll quickly run through the Bear Act just so that I'm sure that whatever things I wanted to highlight in that Bear Act are highlighted. And after that, if any other doubt is there, you tell me. If nothing else is there, then we'll jump to the questions, right? So starting with the president, part 5. Okay, it is part 5, chapter 1, that is the executive, and president and vice president are there in this section. The first one, article 52, simply says there shall be a president of India, nothing else, just that. Then in article 53, the use of defense forces will be regulated by law, and the functions, and this is the same, the clause 3 of article 53, it is not necessary that all the functions of the union will be done by the president only. They can be delegated to other authorities by law. And this is the same article for governor also, similar language. Okay, then I think manner of election of president, detailed description is there. Okay, wherever such details are mentioned in the constitution, you need to be aware about what things are details given, about what things are details not given. So we have detailed election procedure. States have got double representation in the election of the president. This is important to know. Impeachment, the manner of impeachment also is provided in the constitution. So the details of election also is given, and details of impeachment also is given. Okay, the office of the president will never be vacant, even if it means the incumbent president is exceeding his usual term of 5 years. Okay, so president, the oath, the text of the oath is given. Now we have seen many things where oath is important, and in most of those cases the oath is referred to in the 3rd schedule. Okay, it is said that oath as given in the 3rd schedule of the constitution. In the case of president, the language of the oath is given in the article itself. So this is one thing you have to note. Secondly, the what are the wordings used, the words used in the oath that you should go through. So the president, and this is similar to the oath that the governor also takes, to preserve, protect, and defend the constitution and the law, and will devote to the service of the people. So it is not saying anything in the context of the government and I will do what the government says or something. It is not like that. The oath is for protecting the constitution and not obliging to the demands of the executive. Then procedure of impeachment is given in detail. Then one thing is interesting, if the president, if the office becomes vacant because of any other reason other than the expiry of term. So term is 5 years. If the office gets vacated because of any other reason, then like death, resignation, or removal, then maximum 6 months is allowed before, like, maximum 6 months is allowed till the new person will take office. So within 6 months this thing has to be done. As soon as possible is written here. I think in the case of vice president or governor, I don't remember exactly, which one, but in some other case, 6 months figure is not mentioned. Only in the case of president, this 6-month figure is mentioned. Okay, in the
In
other
governor,
case,
it is not mentioned, sir.
okay, maybe. Okay, so it is just mentioned as soon as possible, but not 6 months. Okay, and the new person who is going to become the president, he will serve his full 5-year term. We saw this in the case of Rajya Sabha when the members were expiring, like the seats was getting vacant every second year. The other than the regular expiry of the term, the new member who comes, he will be there only for the remaining period of that seat, right? Am I saying correct or am I messing things up?
Correct, sir.
Correct, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, देखो ये सब फैक्ट्स हैं, इतना सारा लॉ वगैरह टर्म्स है, आई मे फॉरगेट, आई मे क्रॉस कनेक्शन बैठ सकता है, तो यू बी माय दिस थिंग, इफ आई से एनीथिंग इनकरेक्टली वहां पे रोक के मेरे को एक बार बता देना, बट जस्ट दीज आर सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हिच आई नोटिस, आई वांट टू ब्रिंग टू योर नोटिस. Then vice president. Again, that the person will be for the full term. Okay. Election of vice president, detailed procedure is given. Term of office of vice president, fine, removal, fine. Holding election, time of holding election, expiration of term, before term, as soon as possible, but not 6 months is mentioned. Okay. See, in vice president also it is not mentioned. Okay. That 6 month, maximum 6 month period vacancy. And the oath of the vice president is different from that of the president. The president said uphold, defend, and something the constitution, right? Here it's the vice president said true faith and allegiance to the constitution. Okay, and faithfully discharge duty. Here vice president is not saying I will serve the people of the country, and like the language of the president oath is different from vice president. That means if the vice president, when he becomes the president, he will take the oath of the president. Did you notice this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Judicial review is there, fine. So this is all in the present. Today's class is actually not going to be too long. Don't have much things in these two topics. Then about governor. Okay, there'll be one governor, and one governor can be, the same governor can be for more than 2 or more states, and one person can be re-elected also as governor. Then functions can be given to others. Appointed by the president. Okay, appointed by the president. Details are not given. How appointment will be made, etc. Those details are not given.
Excuse me, sir. Is it exactly re-elected or re-appointed, sir?
Governors are appointed, they're not elected.
Yes.
Election is wrong. I said election.
Yes, sir.
No, I was wrong. Appointing ही होगा. There's a difference between election and selection, na? So
Yes.
appointment is equal to selection. Article 156, governor will hold office during the pleasure of the president. Resignation will be addressed to the president. Term is 5 years and will continue to hold office even after expiry of term till the new person comes. Emoluments cannot be diminished during his term. So this is a clause 4 of Article 158. So this is an article which is securing the independence of the governor. So even though a governor can hold office only during the pleasure of the president, still his emoluments and allowances cannot be diminished. Once fixed, they cannot be diminished during his term. Oath and affirmation of the governor. Chief Justice of High Court will give this oath, hold this oath, and preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. See, the language of the governor's oath is similar to the president's oath. Okay, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, and will devote to the service of the people of the state. President may make such provisions as he thinks fit. So this is the Article 160 is giving the residuary powers in the hands of the government. The president will make provisions as he thinks fit for the discharge of the functions of governor, which are not given, any other provision which is not given in this chapter. Grounds of judicial review are given. That's it. Now, anything, any doubt, anything is there in the PAIR Act you want to ask or clarify? Anything? Nothing?
Excuse me, sir.
Mm.
In the governor's article 159, you have written text not in third schedule. Can you explain that, sir? The point is not striking in my head.
Like
Related
normally you will find it written that the oath will be given as per mentioned in the third schedule.
Yes. So
So
for the governor, it is not there. That's what
it is
means.
it's not there because it's there here. It's here.
Okay.
Same as
Okay.
president. The president oath is not given in the third schedule. UPSC will say the president takes oath as per the provisions of the third schedule. It will be incorrect.
Okay. Yes, sir. I get that.
It's not in third schedule. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Fine. Now tell me whether the statement is correct or false. A member of either House of Parliament or state legislature can become the president / governor respectively.
They can become, sir.
They
False.
can become, but
But they'll
they
have to
need
vacate
do
the office at the date of
before
the.
entering the presidency.
Yes.
Yes, they can become. Okay, this is the catch. So the thing is, like, the membership of a house is not a disqualification. They can be a member, but still they can be elected president. But as soon as they are elected, then they have to vacate that this thing, the house. Okay, it was written somewhere in your DD Basu. What was written? Let me just read it out to you. Where is it? Not finding it right now, but you get my point, right?
Yes, sir.
So they can be a member, but not like once they are elected, then they have to vacate. Let me just see governor. There is no bar to the selection of a governor from amongst the members of a legislature. But if a member of legislature is appointed governor, he ceases to be a member immediately upon such appointment. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The details regarding election of president are mentioned in the Constitution. True or false?
True, sir.
True.
Representatives, all union territories are represented in the election of president.
No, sir.
No, sir.
there is uniformity in the scale of representation of different states in the election of president,
True.
True.
and it is given by the constitution.
Exactly.
The value of vote of MLAs of different states is different in the election of president.
True, sir.
True.
So the value of vote of UP MLA will be different from Maharashtra MLA.
True, sir.
Yes.
Depends on the population, the number of MLAs.
Okay.
The parity has been, superficial. The state UP would be equal to Maharashtra, but not individually.
So the parity is in the scale of representation.
Exactly.
Okay. Uniformity in the scale of representation will be there, but the value of individual MLA vote can be different. There is secret ballot. The constitution mentions secret ballot in the election of president.
True, sir.
Guys, you people also must say Shubham is a law student. So he will certainly tell the answers, but you also should. I need to know how much you are remembering. The population in the term population in the election of the president is as per the 2001 census. True or
False.
false?
False.
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 All states have got double representation in the election of president.
True, sir.
Is there any state that has got, like, do states have different levels of representation? Like some will have 2 times, some will have more than 2 times, some will have
No.
less.
Sir,
All
this
states-
is just an observation which has been made. Otherwise, this is just a constitutional observation which people have made.
Hmm.
Otherwise, this is not, it was not intended to. Matlab, aisa, this is the thing.
लिखा
is
नहीं है
like-
ना कहीं भी double representation ऐसा कहीं, there's nothing, it is not
Hmm.
mentioned. The only thing that is mentioned is the state, there will be uniformity in the representation of states. Only this thing is mentioned. Now double representation is in the sense that Rajya Sabha MPs will be participating and MLAs also will be participating. This is the way
Exactly.
it is
Mhm.
getting double represented. The president will hold office for a term of 5 years from the date of his election. True or false?
True.
False.
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 The
Date
day
of
on-
taking the office.
Taking the-
Date of
Enters
taking the
the
office.
Ah, correct.
Yes, the date on which he enters upon the office.
Yes.
The resignation of the president has to be compulsorily communicated by the vice president to the speaker. True or false?
False. Never heard of that.
False.
Never heard of it.
True.
Who said true?
Tamil, sir.
Tamil, how is it true?
I think he gives his resignation to the vice president.
Hmm.
And I think vice president communicates to the speaker through which Lok Sabha.
Think mat bolo na, tell me with confidence. Either it is correct or not, you give me evidence.
So I feel like I went through this statement in a Bear Act, but I'm not sure.
Open your Bear Act, everyone. आंख बंद करके पढ़ते हो तुम लोग. Article 56 खोलो. Clause 2 देखो.
Any resignation address to the vice president.
डबल अंडरलाइन करके दिया था मैंने तुम लोगों को.
Communicated by him to the speaker of the house.
देखो, everything cannot be asked.
Very-
Okay, you people, I should be having this faith that if I'm marking something, you people are going through it. और इसीलिए मैंने तुम लोगों को जल्दी दिया था ना. I gave it like 2-3 hours back before the class.
Yes, sir.
Please ensure that you are reading, not reading.
No, this is
superficially.
this is a great discovery. I mean, thank you so much. I mean, this was literally completely went off the reading table. No?
हाँ नहीं वही बात है, and this is a great discovery for me also. You're shattered my
Hmm.
trust.
Thank you. Your trust should be shattered until we clear, we become officer. You shouldn't have trust on us.
But everything cannot be asked. Please note, everything cannot be asked. Okay, so we should try to minimize these things. Okay, next is who will administer the oath to the president,
CJI
Chief Justice.
and in his absence,
appointed
Senior most
by
judge
him.
of Supreme Court. Senior most judge of Supreme Court.
yes, in his absence, senior most judge of Supreme Court. It is not saying anyone appointed by him, anyone appointed by CJI. The constitution is very clear. CJI or in his absence, senior most judge. That's it. The
Yes.
CJI cannot appoint anyone else. States have a representation in the election of vice president. True or false?
False.
True, sir. Through Rajya Sabha.
Yes,
True.
states have representation.
Yes, sir.
देखो,
But this is a very thin ice to walk on, sir. UPSC में पूछेगा तो अब ये general question है या deep
नहीं,
fact
why is it thin ice? If both houses are there in the
Taking
election,
part in
and in the
election.
president there is like double representation of states, once through Rajya Sabha and once through the MLAs. So if Rajya Sabha is getting this thing, so states are getting representation in the vice president election, no?
So, sir, we actually agree by that. That's why this is the constitutional observation we have made, right? But standard textbooks don't talk about it. Constitution does not talk about it. This is just a constitutional
States-
observation. जो
Yes,
आपने
but-
Bayer Act लिया,
हाँ,
the Bayer Act you took had
हाँ.
some notes. So this was one of the notes. This is not authoritative statement, sir. This is
authoritative.
just dependent on the book.
नहीं, it will not change with book, na. The thing is it an incorrect statement? Can
No,
you
it is
mark
right.
this? Bas fir, the point is we need to. There were two questions yesterday that we discussed, है ना? One वो वाला ये लोक sabha वाला parliamentary democracy. दो question. One was a wider question wherein the statement was based on the philosophy of the constitution. So,
So
we went
it
with
would
the-
be false. It would be false if it says state legislative assemblies, because that is a
Yes.
too specific statement. It has to be
Yes,
false. But if
yes,
they talk about representation of states, it would be true because
Correct.
Rajya Sabha.
yes, yes. ठीक है?
Makes sense.
हाँ. The more we discuss these things, the better. In fact, let not just me ask such question. If you in your studies come across anything which you feel is tricky enough, to be asked in the paper, you pause this thing. You pause me and you ask your question. And then even if you don't know the correct answer of that question, we can discuss, we can arrive at the answer. But the more the discussions we have, the better it is going to be, this clarity. Elimination also will improve this way. The vice president can be removed via passing of a bill by the president, by the parliament.
False.
A resolution, simply
Simply a resolution by
2/3 majority and agreed to by the Lok Sabha by simple majority.
And what is the mandatory precondition which must be satisfied before moving this resolution?
They need the
One
support of
14
fourth
days
the
notice.
total members of the house must
14
be
days notice.
given.
14 days
14
notice.
days notice.
And
14,
the,
huh,
sorry, please continue.
14 days notice has been given of the intention to move the resolution. This is what your Bear Act says, okay? The intention to move the resolution, that must be given as a notice 14 days prior, at least 14 days. Maximum limit is not there. Minimum limit is there. At least 14 days have to be there. So the constitution, UPSC can say 21 days notice. That also is correct. Okay. But if it says at least 21 days notice, then wrong. Yeah, Prabha, you were saying something?
I actually was not sure if I think there was a supporters clause, but I realize it's not by the constitution. So I still need to check if I'm confusing what was needed.
That supporters clause is not there. Even I think president wale mein bhi hai kya kuch aisa?
Ji sir,
But
admit
that
only.
also is not mentioned in the Bear Act, huh?
Ha, it's not.
So maybe it's as per the rules made, rules of transaction of business or something.
Yeah, I'll have to check that. That's why I actually stopped because I didn't know what the source was.
So this is very important. The constitution is not talking about any minimum number of supporters of that resolution.
Sir, it is 1/4, right? 1/4.
Where? Removed by his
1/4
office
of the members of the house.
by a majority of all and then members and agreed to by the house of the people, but no resolution for the purpose shall be moved unless. Yeah, it's not talking about 1/4. Where is it saying 1/4? Which clause?
So I'll just get back on this actually. I think
Yeah.
I'm confusing two different offices.
So this Bear Act reading is beneficial, right?
Exactly, sir.
Yes,
Yeah, very.
Super beneficial, sir.
That's great. You know, going through Lakshmikant and asking questions from there will not give us this kind of clarity.
Okay, so Mano, I don't know who said 1/4, but they're right. It does say that the charges need to be signed by 1/4 members of the house that is framing the charges.
Where, which clause?
No,
Sir, I read in
doesn't say
Bear Act only, sir.
constitution, but it is a
in Bear Act.
requirement.
So
I
that
still
means
don't
it's
know
a
the
rule.
source though.
Yeah, it would be a rule of the house.
Yeah.
The houses have got the power to make their rules, na?
Yes, ROPCOP. Huh.
Huh. Rules of procedure. I think wahan se hoga. What we need to be clear about, the minimum clarity that is needed is whether the constitution contains these provisions or not. That's all. बाकी कहाँ है वो मैटर नहीं करता है ये पता है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में नहीं है ये पता है बस. An election to fill a vacancy.
Okay, one more thing. Just one more thing. I'm so sorry to disturb in between. But the thing is, the resolution need not be passed by 2/3 majority. So 2/3 majority is a special majority, and the majority needed is the effective majority.
Yeah.
Effective. There are 4 kinds of
Even
majority
I
in Indian
wanted to
Parliament.
point out, sir.
Majority of all the then members
Then
of
members.
the council
And
and
this, you know, the
agreed to by the house of the people. It is not
So-
talking about any 2/3
Yeah,
majority. here.
2/3.
Yeah.
But this majority is effective majority.
Okay,
Yeah, effective majority.
good. The election to fill a vacancy caused by expiration of term of office of the vice president must be completed before the expiration of the term of incumbent vice president.
True.
True.
In case of vacancy owing to death, resignation, or removal, or any other reason, the vacancy must be filled, the vice president vacancy must be filled within 6 months.
ASAP.
False.
ASAP.
False, sir.
It's just
As soon as possible.
Good. The vice president takes oath to preserve and protect the Constitution of India.
No, sir.
False. Bear true faith and allegiance only.
Faith and allegiance to
The vice president takes oath to serve the people of India.
False.
No, sir.
False.
No, sir.
Faithfully discharge the duty.
Discharge.
Faithfully discharge the duty. The vice president has to take the oath of the president before entering upon his office.
True, sir.
True.
Although it is not mentioned in the constitution कि vice president ने oath लेनी है, it's inferred कि president ने oath लेनी है and the oath of the vice president is different from that of the president. So if the office changes, then the oath has to be taken, right?
Yes, sir.
In case of anything wrong I'm saying, please interrupt and highlight.
It is mentioned, sir.
कहाँ?
See, read it in the 60 Article 60, oath or affirmation by the president. So every president and every person acting as president or discharging the functions of president shall, before
Has to
entering
take-
upon his office,
Yes.
make and subscribe in the presence of Chief Justice of India and his absence senior oath or affirmation. So the Constitution mentions this. You have to,
Okay, great. So it's clearly, it's like explicitly mentioned.
explicitly mention.
Good. Good. All doubts and disputes regarding the election of president and the vice president will be decided by whom?
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Can any high court decide
Governor, for the governor.
Governor.
for
Not for
president and vice
presidency.
president?
No.
Supreme Court.
If the election of a president or vice president is declared void by the Supreme Court, the acts done by him until this declaration of being like this election being void, they are invalidated. True or
No,
false?
sir.
False.
False.
False. False. They will be valid.
Valid, very good. The Lok Sabha, under the rules of procedure of the House, can regulate any matter relating to the election of president or vice president.
Can you repeat the
False.
question?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat?
The Lok Sabha, as per the rules of procedure of the House, can regulate any matter related to election of president and vice president.
False, I
False.
guess.
False, sir.
So what
Sir,
is the
it can
correct
regulate,
statement?
but not as
The
per the
parliament.
rules of
The
the
Rajya Sabha has a
Parliament-
say in it because it's the Council of States.
Not
Parliament may by law
by rules of
can-
procedure, sir.
Good. Not by rules of procedure. It is the parliament by law can
Yeah.
regulate any matter.
Yes, sir.
Good. And Prabha has given a very good statement. Lok Sabha has a say in the if this kind of statement is given, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha has a say in the regulation of any matter regarding election of president and vice president. It will be correct. Yes, they have a say because parliament has to pass a law.
Yes.
In case of any vacancy in the electoral college, or let me rephrase, vacancy in the electoral college is a ground on which the election of president or vice president can be called into question.
No, sir.
No,
It cannot
sir.
be called into question
False.
on the ground of vacancy in electoral college.
there is judicial review. There is a scope of judicial review when it comes to pardoning powers of president.
True, sir.
True.
But a very limited judicial review. But yes, there is.
The president can confer any function to any authority subordinate to the governor. The president can confer any function to any authority subordinate to the governor. True or false?
True.
False.
True.
Why is it false, Tamil?
I don't think he directly has the provision to give. So
What
through governor he can give, but such a thinking I'm having.
Okay, so what should be the correct thing? Should I repeat the statement? The statement I made is the president has the power to confer any function to any authority subordinate to the governor. That means bypass the governor. False. False because come to Article 154, Clause 2, Subclause Bravo. Everyone, are you there?
Just a second, sir.
Article
Yes, sir.
154, Clause 2, Subclause Bravo. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
So it says nothing in this article, Bravo pe aa jao, prevent the parliament or the legislature of a state from conferring by law functions on any authority subordinate to the governor. So it is not the president, it's the parliament or the state legislature by law can give any function to any authority subordinate to the governor. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, doesn't the parliament have president also into it?
When we say the president will give, means the union government will give, na? If you want to mean the parliament, when you say that the president will do something, is it do you intend to say the union government will do something or the parliament will do something?
Yes, sir.
Right? Wherever the sense is of union government, the constitution will say president will do something. President has the power to do this. Wherever the sense is of parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, then parliament only will be used. And the same clause is there in president also. Who appoints the governor?
President.
Who elects the governor?
No one.
No one elects.
The governor is appointed and not elected. What is the minimum age?
35. 35.
How many qualifications does the constitution give for election, appointment of governor?
Only to citizen of India and 35 years of age.
Good. Good. Okay. If a person is appointed as governor of 2 or more states, okay, if a person is appointed as governor of 2 or more states, then the emoluments and allowances payable to the governor, to this governor, will be allocated amongst the states by whom? Who will determine the proportion of the
President. It's president of India.
Yes, here the
Yeah.
president will determine. Tamil, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
That means the
Yes, sir.
union government will determine.
Okay.
Okay, not the parliament. UPSC will say parliament by law will determine. The governor takes oath to preserve and protect the Constitution of India. True or false?
True.
sir.
Oh,
The Constitution contains provisions to secure the independence of the governor. True or false?
So could you please repeat it?
The Constitution contains provisions to secure the independence of governor. True or false?
True,
just
sir.
the part where,
False.
just the part where it says that the emoluments can't be reduced to
Yes.
his disfavor.
So it's true. This is a true statement.
Got it. Okay.
Sir, but union government can remove him whenever they would
That's
like
okay.
to.
That's okay. But is the Constitution not securing independence to the governor or not? When it says the emoluments cannot be diminished during his term, this is securing the independence, right?
Okay, sir.
This is there in the judges also, na? Independence of judiciary, you cannot reduce their emoluments, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So same thing we can apply here. This statement, the governor is a representative of the union government.
Agent of the union government.
The governor is an agent of the union government. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
False, false.
True.
True कैसे है शुभम?
सर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का एजेंट है सर गवर्नर.
कैसे? कहाँ लिखा है? सेंट्रल
sir,
गवर्नमेंट
this
का
is-
उसका ओथ क्या है?
नहीं you are asking constitutionally or asking generally?
Anything.
No, sir.
You take it as
the governor has been accorded dual role. One is the the executive head of the state, and other is the agent of the central government.
यार I really doubt this key agent of the center, because this is very, governor is a constitutional position.
That is the
Huh.
Supreme Court says this. The Supreme
Huh.
Court says, but what the Supreme Court says, Supreme Court does not deny being an agent, but it said it is not a job under central government. So you cannot say governor is being employed by central government. Governor is a constitutional post,
So
but he is
agent
the agent of the
agent
of the.
is the word. Agent is the word that is contested here. Agent means somebody is representing the central government, na?
No,
Is
no,
the government
agent
representing the central
yeah,
government?
exactly. He represents the central government. See,
Uh,
for once, Lakshmikant says this.
हाँ
DD
Yeah, yeah,
Basu also
Lakshmikant
says this,
हाँ.
and I can check in the Bayer Act for once.
बेयर एक्ट में तो मुझे कहीं मिला नहीं. डीडी बासु कहाँ बोल रहा है?
Lakshmikant says it, and the other
DD
thing is
Basu,
that-
I can, if you give me some time, I can find it out.
No issue. चलो इसके ऊपर, this is a contested thing. Okay, please let's discuss in group. We need clarity on this. Governor is agent of the central government. If this statement comes, whether it should be correct or false. Prabha, you were saying something?
he is an agent, he is a representative, but it's not a employment under the central government because it's a constitutional post. But
He is an
agent and
agent.
representative he is.
Okay. So if this is so, then
The tone between representative and the agent is contrast, right? So I feel he is a representative, but not a agent of central government. He represents the, he
See,
acts like
when we use
the
different
state government
vocabulary,
and the
it is.
central government.
See,
So
it's,
in
the
this-
discussion is not about the vocabulary. The thing is, this is not a constitutional provision. This is a
Hmm.
constitutional observation. So some jurists would have made this observation. So if you use the word agent, Lakshmikant mentions that agent. Otherwise, if you mention it somewhere as the representative, it
Hmm.
will always be right. Because see, this is not a constitutional provision. This is not a legal provision. This is just a constitutional observation. For example, DPSPs are divided into Gandhian Marxism, liberal. So is it true? The constitution does not mention it. However, what happens is the constitutional observers, the jurists mention it. So the vocabulary can be contested, but it is worthless to contest the vocabulary because see, for once Lakshmikant says agent, then DD Basu would be more authoritative because he's a jurist. So we'll just check in DD Basu if possible. I'll just let you know after
देख
that.
लेना, एक बार देख लेना. Because what do you think?
No, sir, I don't think he works as an agent. मतलब वो ठीक है, in general sense you can say, but in the answers, अगर such type of statement comes, we have to deny it. I think so.
Mm,
Sir, I think we can write it as in mains or mains like that. but-
Mains is a देखो, the thing is polity, if the statement comes he is an agent of the central government,
Also,
matlab it's a, you have to take it in formal sense. It is
Yes.
not like subjective
And even
interpretation.
the debate around the governor and the tussle between the governor and the state government, the one issue which lies here is also regarding the governor working as the agent of the
Hmm.
central government.
Hmm.
And Supreme Court in recent 2-3 cases has
Hmm.
said that governor is not an agent. I think
Hmm.
I have read somewhere.
Chalo
in
khair,
newspaper
this is
also.
a good clarity that we can have. Keep it on market and study it. Okay. Whatever you find, share in the group. Let's move ahead.
सर इस पे तो मेंस वालों को भी क्लैरिटी नहीं है. मेंस में भी दे आस्क द क्वेश्चन, इज द गवर्नर द एजेंट ऑफ द यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया?
That's true. Actually, and the thing that, both Vikas and Shubham are saying, the constitutional observation hai, I feel like future judgments may also say that he's not or whatever. I feel like just polity in general is not settled on this. So ye question aayega bhi, to hopefully it'll get dropped.
it is a mains question, not generally prelims question. in my
Yes,
opinion.
sir.
No,
it
no,
is mains.
Yes,
if it is
agreed.
given in mains, okay, no.
Agreed ki it's not a very strong, prelims kind of question because it's not black and white information. But worst case scenario, if such a thing comes, इस statement को हम correct mark करेंगे या incorrect करेंगे? Why I feel this statement should be marked incorrect because of the oath of the governor, which says preserve, protect and defend the constitution. And constitution में उसको वो भी कर रहा है, emoluments will not be diminished, and कहीं कुछ
Sir,
ऐसा,
in prelims, I think it is incorrect, sir. For prelims, it should be
I
incorrect.
feel it, I mean, if I were to give prelims with the clarity which I have right now, I will mark this statement incorrect. Baki, I don't know. Thoda padna, if you people can find some more, authoritative point on this aspect, just make a note of it. Then no, that's it. बस उसके बाद तो कुछ है नहीं. Judicial review is there in his decisions if governor, judicial review can happen. That's all. Who makes provisions regarding the discharge of functions of the governor? Who makes provisions regarding the discharge of functions of the governor? How the governor will function? Who makes these
Kya, sir?
provisions?
President.
Parliament and state
President.
I think the
legislature.
president.
President will make. The president.
of India.
Article 160 you can read. The president may make such provisions as he thinks fit. As he thinks fit. Again, just like there was one question, ki the president can call the houses at whatever location he thinks fit. Same way here also, as he thinks fit is given, so same language can be used in your statement in exam. President will make the provision. That will be all, guys, in the 2 Bare Act chapters for today. Before we end today's call, how was yesterday's practice questions of elimination? Any doubt in them?
Actually, I marked wrong, sir. I mean, for both the questions, I put D as option. I mean, both 1, 2, and 3 all. But after watching the video, I realized my mistake where I have gone wrong. I got
Okay, so
clarity.
no, you don't there's nothing specific to discuss.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Fine, guys. Then I think that will be all in today's
DD
class.
Basu also calls us as an agent.
कहाँ लिखा है? I have DD Basu only.
बस कौन सा edition
मेरे
है?
पास यार
I have
21st
20
edition.
and 20.
हाँ 21st edition है.
अच्छा 21st है, so it is so it says in the state executive. आप उसमें ये होगा column, there must be column status of appointed governor so far.
Wait. Status of appointed governor so far. हाँ. In actual
So
working.
it may be said that in states where one party has a clear majority, the party governor has been of a constitutional impartial head. But in those states where there are multiple parties in uncertain command over the legislature, the governor has acted as a mere agent of the center in various matters, such as inviting person to form a ministry.
नहीं तो ये तो उसके रोल का
Almost
क्रिटिकल
supposed to.
एनालिसिस है ना.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the constitutional
It's like-
observation.
it's
Is
like
the
a
constitution
remark
doesn't
or-
mention, but
नहीं
jurist
नहीं
mentions.
वो different हो रहा है.
हम from this is how the experience of the polity has been of this institution. But the statement that the governor is an agent of the central government, this means the objective of the whole institution of government of governor is to be an agent of the central government. That is not the objective ना. समझ रहे हो?
अच्छा.
Official objective थोड़ी है. अगर if this statement comes in your
Oh,
exam,
exactly. Obviously, this is not an official objective. Yeah.
official नहीं है. Official is like he is a constitutional head, respectable head है. वो अपने खुद independent type है ना. That is why this statement should be incorrect. Mains में you will write that the objective of the
Mains
constitution.
we can provide arguments.
हाँ.
Mains it has to be subjective, but yeah, for prelims it has to be false. He is not the agent of the government.
Yes, he is not an agent. That is what
cool.
That's what I feel. If in future कभी भी कुछ भी मिलता है which is more authoritative on this aspect, please update in the group. Okay.
So I can see why DD Basu wala statement is wrong. Like it makes the answer wrong, but Lakshmikant actually writes it like he acts as
But then
a
Lakshmikant is not a constitutional
agent.
jurist, right?
No, I
So
agree.
it's
I agree.
worthless.
I'm aware of that. I agree. But I'm just going by the text, just like DD Basu wala you were saying, that also acts as an agent of the central government. So it's not a critical analysis. It is seeming to say that hey, he's a representative, or it's not a employment under this thing. So that's why. But I think this is a very unsettled debate, to be honest. So ये हो नहीं पाएगा.
The governor has acted. Let us see.
लक्ष्मीकांत में
नहीं इसमें बासु में DD Basu में it says in actual working है ना. देखो जहां in actual, this paragraph itself starts with this phrase in actual working, what has happened. So that means in contrast to whatever is the intent of the constitution, in actual working what has happened. In actual working, it may be said that in states where one party has a clear majority, the part played by the governor has been that of a constitutional and impartial head. So in one type of states where there is one party majority, it has been impartial. Why? Because the mandate of the people is that there is a clear winner, one party winner in the state. But where there is coalition kind of government, जहाँ खिचड़ी हो गई है legislature में, there the politics is entering and state and union जो है central government में जो party है, that is using the institution of the governor to further its interests. Can we say this? But in those states where there are multiple parties, that means a coalition kind of government, or where there's not a clear mandate in the legislature, the governor has acted as a mere agent. Look at the tone in which this sentence is written, as a mere agent of the center. That means it is not the objective of the constitution that the governor is an agent of the center. He has although acted as a mere agent in special cases where there is khichdi in the house. Are we making any headway? No.
Supreme Court ने भी बोला है sir. Supreme Court ने भी बोला है. But that is just obiter dicta. मतलब that is not a part of the judgment, but it is the part of an individual's statement that the government is not the agent of the central government. So let's just go by it.
in general sense, everyone will agree with that the governor acts as an agent of the central government. But
Yes.
Constitution nowhere writes that any of the things which makes governor as an agent of central government. So
my point is, if this statement comes, the governor is an agent of the central government. The governor means the institution of governor. In prelims, if this statement
Yes,
comes, the governor is an agent of the central government, means the institution of governor is an agent of the central government.
correct. Correct.
That means what? Constitution का intent क्या है? Agent थोड़ी बना रहा है, constitutional head है ना.
Correct.
I mean, that is how my.
And if this question also comes now in prelims, this is one of those kind of questions, a slippery slope question. They want you to be wrong, that's why they'll give this question. Otherwise,
Yes,
there is
yes.
no statutory
and
proof
this
that
is-
it is an agent.
No statutory proof, but
Hmm.
this is where we have to go by the
Word of the
philosophy
law.
of the constitution. What is the
Hmm.
intent of the constitution? Not असलियत में क्या हो रहा है वो मैटर नहीं करता है. अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तो ये भी कहा था, CJI ये CBI is a caged parrot.
Mhm.
If the UPSC gives this exact statement, CBI is a caged parrot, incorrect है वो. CBI is not a caged parrot. It is not supposed to be a caged parrot, na? Do you
Correct.
get?
Correct. True.
You know, like this is how I would approach this question. You can have a different thought process about it. I'm not saying you agree with whatever I'm trying to share here. I'm just sharing my thought, my experience of the questions, and whatever I have been through in all of these years. I feel such a statement should be incorrect, but still you do what you feel is right. You maybe you study this aspect, you solve more questions. Coaching के mocks उठा के उसमें search करके देख लो कहीं पे अगर ऐसा चीज कुछ मिल रहा है तो.
Sir, the thing is, the more you get into this debate, you will be fixed because most of the people are reading Lakshmikant. Okay. Now the coaching people are also telling, don't switch your sources, just concentrate on Lakshmikant. And Lakshmikant specifically mentions that he is an agent of the government. So once, if and when UPSC gives this question, it would want us to be wrong. That's it. Because he is not an agent. Lakshmikant is wrong in this sense because there is no statutory proof where he is an agent.
There is a difference.
Coaching के notes भी देखेंगे sir. Coaching, even if you see coaching notes, even if you see coaching questions, they would follow Lakshmikant. So they would make this anomaly a truth.
The whole issue is the difference between formal and informal. Governor is an agent, is an informal judgment. It's a judgment. Opinion है ये. Opinion है ना. हम लोगों का मेरा तुम्हारा opinion है कि यार जिस तरीके से function किया वो agent ही है. एजेंट की तरह फंक्शन कर रहा है, बट क्या वो इंटेंडेड है एजेंट की तरह फंक्शन करना?
I get it.
UPSC asks this statement, that will be the objective of asking it. कि वो intended है या नहीं? And from that angle, I feel the statement should be marked wrong. He is not an agent of the. He is not supposed to be an agent of the central government. Baki, if any other better clarity is there, we can always share it in the group. Okay, guys. Chalo. So I think we stop here. There's nothing else. No other question, anything else to be asked. Then we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. See you guys.
In terms of the schedule, so we're done till मतलब PYQ हमने आज president and vice president का खत्म कर लिया, right? That's okay.
Vice president, governor also, right?
Governor, vice president, parliament, all of those things. See, I'm not asking you questions exactly verbatim from the PYQs because those are very simple things. No point in asking. We should focus on things which are more valuable. है ना? तो जहाँ confusion का scope है वहाँ पूछना ज़्यादा अच्छा है. Exact PYQ पूछने से नहीं पूछने से वो matter नहीं करता है. वो तो in any case you can do at your end also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we'll meet at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.